Welcome to Sergeant Dorsey Speaks. I'm a retired 20-year veteran sergeant of the Los Angeles Police Department, and I am not afraid to pull the covers back, expose that thin blue line, and talk to you honestly and candidly about police training, police policy, and a whole lot about police culture. Welcome to Sergeant Dorsey Speaks across all of my social media platforms, YouTube, Sergeant Dorsey Speaks, and Facebook, as well as Instagram, Sergeant Cheryl Dorsey. So family, I'm coming to you today with an update, and as much as I'm trying to find peace and distance myself from my own mental health about this Ahmaud Arbery murder case, I guess I'm not going to be able to distance myself because I'm seeing almost daily now the gentleman who, and I use that term loosely, the guy who recorded the shooting, William Roddy Bryan, has been doing the circuit, folks. Y'all seen him probably by now, talking about really nothing. But as he continues to say a thing, I guess I'm going to have to say a thing too, because the more you say it, the more people will think it's true, if it's not, in the case of what William Roddy Bryan is saying. And so I come from a place where silence is agreement. And so I can't be quiet. What I want to do is play for you a little clip of a interview, if you will. They're calling it an interview, but every time he comes on TV, he really just says nothing because his attorney won't let him speak to the things that we really want to hear him speak to. So I'll tell you what that's all about. What it's all about is a juror, a prospective juror who may one day be sitting and see him again, and they will remember, oh yeah, I remember hearing him say, he wasn't involved. He was just a innocent bystander. He just happened to be on the road that day. He doesn't even know Greg and Travis McMichael. This is what they're trying to put out there in the atmosphere with these daily low content press conferences. He's been on CNN, William Roddy Bryan. He's been on CNN with Chris Cuomo. Didn't answer any questions because Chris was asking him, well, dude, why were you there? How come you were even filming? How did you know to film? And his attorney told him, don't you say nothing. He's just sitting there looking like a deer in headlights and blinking, right? Then he went on, I think it was some morning talk show, and I'm not sure if it's Good Day America or whatever because I don't watch it, but I heard that he was on there too. And now I've seen him at least once or twice on the local news station there. It's called something Jack's Channel 5 there in wherever he lives. Yeah, he's been on TV a lot is my point. And so I'm going to play with you the video, and we'll talk about it on the other side.
Only Action News Jax spoke one-on-one with the man behind this video that captured the final moments of Ahmaud Arbery's life. William Bryan says since the video leaked, he's been in fear for his own life.
I am not feeling safe at all. I haven't felt safe in at least 3 to 5 days now. Like Amy has said, the threats have been real.
The Georgia Bureau of Investigation says it is still looking into whether William Roddy Bryan should also be charged.
Action News Jax Bridget Matter was the only reporter to sit down with Bryan. She's live in Brunswick now. And Bridget, you asked Bryan how he got involved.
And Bryan says he's simply a witness in all of this. His attorney would not allow him to answer questions about why he started recording and why he started driving behind Arbery. The man behind the disturbing viral video that broke the Ahmaud Arbery case wide open is speaking out only to Action News Jax. On February 23rd, William Bryan, who goes by Roddy, recorded Ahmaud Arbery running in the Satilla Shores neighborhood and the shooting that killed him. Bryan and his fiancée sat down with me for about 45 minutes amid death threats that forced them out of their home.
Are you scared?
Yes, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't scared. I mean, if that's what they wanted to do was scare me, they've scared me.
The Georgia Bureau of Investigations is investigating Bryan to determine if he will also face charges.
I truthfully need to be cleared of this because I had nothing to do with it. I'm trying to get my life back to normal, and it's been smeared for the last week.
In the initial police report, Gregory McMichael told officers Arbery was running in one direction and, quote, Roddy attempted to block him, which was unsuccessful. Brian's attorney, Kevin Goff, would not allow his client to answer my questions about his involvement in the case, including how he ended up driving behind Arbery recording.
Was your client trying to intercept Mr. Arbery?
My client was responding to what he saw, which was someone in the community that he didn't know being followed by a vehicle that he recognized.
Goff says he was working on his front porch when he saw Arbery and the McMichaels go down his road. Some people who have seen the video asked if Brian was also armed because of a clicking sound you can hear. Goff says Brian was not armed.
Is the evidence of what took place that day.
What happened after the video stopped is unknown. Brian stayed on scene and was cooperative with police. He did not call 911 and says he does not have a relationship with the McMichaels.
Do you have anything to say to Ahmaud's family?
Yes, I'm very, very sorry for your loss. I don't know what else to say. I know there's nothing else I can say. I'm very sorry for your loss.
Okay, so you've heard his sorrowful, pitiful interview, the second I've seen, and I find it offensive. I find it disingenuous, and I'll tell you why. In his first interview, he talked about being a parent himself through his attorney because we didn't hear him speak. You've already seen a portion of that on my social media platforms, and if you haven't, it's there for you to take a look at. He talked about being a father himself and how no parent should have to bury a child. Remember that when they asked him, what would you say to the family of Ahmaud Arbery? Because he didn't know what to say. He didn't have any words. I'm sorry for your loss. Are you kidding me? You're a parent. You understand, allegedly. No parent should have to bury a child. He should have had so much more to say if he was really contrite. If this wasn't about speaking to a prospective jury pool. So let me talk to the prospective jurors as well. And I want to remind you that he followed Gregory and Travis McMichael. William Roddy Bryan is their neighbor. He says there's no relationship with them. His attorney is giving us code speak and double talk by saying he saw something. He saw someone going through the neighborhood he did not recognize being followed by someone he knew. Now, either you know him or you don't, but anyway. And so he just wanted to get involved and was curious and got behind him and started videotaping. What they don't say in their code speak double talk is they deny the clicking sound that everyone is saying that was Roddy chambering around into whatever weapon it was he was carrying. His attorney says, no, that's not what he was doing. But what his attorney doesn't say is what was he doing? What was that sound? Because listen, if it was something honest, I would be the first one, and his attorney would too, to want you to know what it was. I had just opened up a can of soda, and that was the pop you heard. Or I shouldn't have been drinking and driving, but I was popping open a beer, right? If that's what it was. If it was something other than what everyone says, him chambering around into some kind of a weapon, they would say it. And so let's not lose sight of that. And then he talks about, he says, it says that he did not, Roddy, after the shooting happened, he didn't call 911. The question that begs to be answered is then, why didn't he call 911? If you're driving down the street and you see a car in front of you stop, you see the driver jump out with a shotgun, shoot somebody that you don't know, that you just happen to see running through your neighborhood, wouldn't you get on 911? A reasonable person would get on 911 and call the police and say, hey, I don't know what the hell's going on, but I just drove past it. I kept going, but here's what I saw. Here's where it happened, and here's where you need to show up. Not now, but right now. He did none of that. He did none of that. So he didn't call 911. He says that he was just responding to something that he saw. And of course, he wants brownie points for having sat down with the police and relinquished his telephone and gone through it. And now he wants us to believe that, oh my goodness, I can't even look at this video. I can't look at the images. He already looked at them. He looked at it real time. By his own attorney's admission, he looked at it again with the police. He said he sat down with the police in his car and they looked at it on his phone, probably more than once, because he probably had to narrate and tell the officers what was going on, what he was doing, what he was thinking while all of this was going on. All of that would be part of the preliminary investigation that the officers would have wanted to know the answers to. And so, listen, now all of a sudden you can't look at it. It's all offensive. And he's scared. Oh my God, he's scared. His attorney wants us to know that he just has a high school education. He's a mechanic. Poor little thing. And you know, if you went to high school there where he lives, according to his attorney, having just a high school education is, you know, it's tough. These high schools are not the best, according to his attorney, as he talks to prospective jurors to try to garner sympathy for him. He lost a job. A mother and a father lost their son. A brother lost his sibling. And so it's offensive. It's offensive. And then to hear, in the words of Greg McMichael, someone he says he doesn't know, Greg McMichael says that, no, old boy Roddy was running interference for me. He was trying to block Ahmaud with little success. He was trying to block him. And so they were working in tandem together, AKA co-conspirator, not just an innocent witness who just happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time and just happened to have his cell phone turned on. His life has been smeared. What about the smear tactic that's going on right now over the life of Ahmaud Arbery, where they try to say that somehow because he had a juvenile record that he deserved this, that maybe on more than one occasion while running through the neighborhood, he stopped to look inside the home, which, by the way, is not a crime. He wasn't trespassing. The owners of the home, it's reported, released that video, and they released it because they wanted everybody to know we don't have beef, we don't have issue. And if the homeowner didn't have an issue with Ahmaud or anyone else sticking their head into the house while it's under construction to see what's going on, no one else can be a victim for them. They can't stand in proxy for that homeowner. And so, again, the fact that Ahmaud may have stopped, as it's alleged, more than once in that home, it's under construction. It would make sense to want to see the construction unfolding. What's so unusual about that? Again, I speak from a place of firsthand knowledge. I had a home being built. I used to drive to see it 2-3 times a month to see the ongoing evolution of the construction. And so there's nothing criminal about it. And trespass, while it's a term, it's a legal term that they want to use and banter about as if Ahmaud had committed an act of trespass. He had not. He had not. The victim took no issue with him being, the owner of that residence took no issue with Ahmaud being in there. They don't call themselves a victim. They released the video because they wanted people to know nothing was taken. We don't have issue. There were no signs saying no trespassing, because that would be the other thing that would be helpful if you were going to prosecute someone for being on your property, and none of that stuff existed. And so all of this, I think, is disingenuous, and I think it's all being put out there to try to taint prospective jurors, and that's why family is so important for those of you who live in that vicinity, in that area, to make sure that you get on this jury pool whenever, if ever, one is paneled. Right now, they're looking to put this forth to the grand jury, and then once notices go out, if you get one, you need to be there. I'll come back with more as I see a need to refute whatever foolishness it is that they are trying to put out there, whatever smear tactic they're trying to use against Ahmaud. Until next time, be good, be safe.